A Nuzlocke isn't just a challenge, it's an art form. You don't rush a Nuzlocke, you move through it with calculated, sharp, and graceful steps. Oh my god! Let's go, it's a new PB! You've never heard of Pokemon Run and Bun? It's essentially just the world's hardest Nuzlocke. The game is Gen 8 Pokemon and mechanics with full custom AI. To briefly go over the Nuzlocke rules, I must catch the first encounter I find on every route. If a Pokemon faints, it is permanently dead for the rest of the run. If I wipe at any point, the run is declared over and I must restart. That's pretty much it. The entire rule set will be in the description if you are curious. But without further ado, let's watch how I battled my way into a circle where only the most legendary trainers belong. I don't know if you could hear him, but my dog is in the background being very loud. Leave a like for Bowie. In Run and Bun, you get the 3 Sinnoh starters to choose from: Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup. In my personal opinion, they are all good, but I believe that Chimchar is the best because of his move pool and E4 viability. And with that reason, I chose the turtle. Turtwig has the Shell Armor ability, which blocks all critical hits and is most useful throughout range sections and the mid game. After you get your starter, you get what is called the 6-pack of Run and Bun, which is just the first 6 encounters you get before you start battling trainers. Here's mine. Obviously, we have our starter Turtwig. Our Little Root encounter was Surskit, who is incredible for Brawly. On Route 101, I got Lillipup, which is pretty poor. In Oakdale Town, I got Fletchling, which is a really cool support mon. On Route 103, I got Gossifleur, which is probably a top 3 pivot in the game due to its Cotton Out ability, which lowers the target's speed on damaging moves. And lastly, my Route 102 encounter was a Rookidee, which is fantastic. Overall, I'd rate this 6-pack an 8.5 out of 10, with the only real miss being Lillipup and also not getting Growlithe, which there's tons of chances though to get a fast rock type, so surely I will be fine. Run and Bun has 331 handcrafted fights, and even these early game fights you have to plan for. For example, after making it through Petalburg, I can grab my Route 104 encounter, which actually has a chance of giving me the best Pokemon in the entire game, Beedrill, thanks to its Mega Evolution. Yes, there are Megas in this game, but instead I end up with a Combee, which is actually super rare and will be interesting to test out. But anyways, the very first trainer on Route 104 has a Yanma that spams Sonic Boom, and at this point in the game, that move 2-shots basically everyone on your team. So already within the first 5 trainer battles, the game is forcing you to equip Oran Berries and stay alert for any early game threats. I take care of the rest of the trainers on the early routes, and then I wrap it up with a pretty easy Aqua Grunt fight in front of Petalburg Woods. But beating this grunt unlocks a new level cap. In Run and Bun, there's a hard level cap system in place, and you're given unlimited rare candies to hit that cap. Usually these caps are after major boss fights or gym leaders. So I bring my whole team up to the new level cap of 17, and I evolve all Pokemon who can. And instead of heading to Rustboro like in the vanilla games, I actually go to Dewford first. Yup, Run and Bun mixes things up. Brawly is now the first gym leader and Roxanne becomes the second. So right out of the gate, the progression is already different. But after landing in Dewford, I get access to 3 encounters: Dewford Town, Route 106, and Route 107. Dewford is a guaranteed fighting type, but I end up with one of the worst options in the pool, Pancham. On Route 107, I pull a Horsey, which is pretty decent, but on 106, I got Choodle, which is one of the best early game mons in the entire game, especially if it has the Shell Armor ability. Can't win them all. But I finish off the remaining trainers in Dewford before taking the boat to Route 109. There, I cleared all the beach trainers, I catch my 3rd turtle of the run, and I finally make it to Slateport City. In Slateport, I snag another encounter, Weasel, who surprisingly ends up performing really well this run. I also head back to Granite Cave for one more encounter that I tried to delay, which turns out to be a Cufant. With this squad assembled, I'm ready to face the second mini-boss of the game, a back-to-back battle against 2 Aqua Grunts with no healing in between. The first grunt leads with a Murkrow, and I send out Tortuga. One smackdown followed by an Aqua Jet takes it out cleanly, bringing out Skrelp. I know Skrelp is very likely to go for Toxic, so I stay in with my held Petriberry and chip it with a smackdown. Then I swap to Buizel on a Water Pulse and can finish the job with 2 Sonic Booms. And last up is their own Tortuga, and I can swap in my Grottle, stay healthy, and KO with a few Mega Drains. Grunt 2 leads with Marine, which gets completely walled by my Steel-type Cufant since it only has Poison-type moves. A couple of bulldozers would finish it off, but right before I take the KO, I pivot to Weasel and land this final Sonic Boom, baiting in Frillish. Frillish gets hardwalled by my normal type Herdier, who can spam super effective bites and covets for the KO, and this only leaves Whirlipede in the back, which is guaranteed to go for a rollout, so I can switch Cufant back in, who takes no damage from the rock type move, and then I can KO it with a couple of rock throws. And just like that, the level cap is now 21, which means it's time for Brawly's gem. But before I dive in, there's one more thing I need to take care of. In Run and Bun, there's the infinite candy that lets you train up to the level cap, but there's also 14 regular rare candies that let you go beyond it. I've just unlocked access to a trainer who, if I beat her, will give me my very first one of those candies. This battle also guards my last encounter before the gym. Now this fight's actually pretty easy because my Pokemon are about on average 4 levels higher than theirs, but these rare candies are so important because many times they unlock an evolution beyond the level cap or a really important move that can help out with gyms or boss fights. Anyway, I collect my rare candy, I go into the grass and find a Shanks, which is pretty good for the early game, but it falls off pretty hard right when we hit the mid game. The way gyms work in this game is you cannot be pre-damaged or pre-statused, so pretty much any of those strategies are out of the window. Just sheer battling. The gym itself is pretty straightforward with not a whole lot of planning being needed to beat the trainers, but Brawly is a whole different story. Let's take a look at his team. He opens with Kubfu. Yeah, I forgot to mention that every gym trainer in this game has a legendary, and starting after Gym 2, they also get a Mega. But Kubfu's coverage is ridiculous, making it a threat right out of the gate. And next is Lopunny, which comes in with boosted retaliates and then pivots out thanks to its eject button. Combuskin, in my opinion, is the scariest of the bunch. You almost always have to sack something to it or pray you don't get crit. Technician Hitmontop hits way too hard for this stage in the game. Expert Belt Poliwhirl punches holes like it's nothing. And finally, Eviolite Scraggy is an absolute wall and nearly impossible to KO. Let's see how I managed to do this fight. Remember that rare candy that I picked up earlier? I used it on my Surskit, evolving her into Masquerain and also gaining the Intimidate ability. Turn 1, I launch a super effective Gust into Kubfu, which will do about 70%, and I get crit on turn 1. Not the start we're looking for. Turn 2, I know this is a guaranteed Sucker Punch incoming, so I quick attack to make it fail, and now once again it's a 50-50 whether it's going to go for Sucker Punch again, and I lose the coin flip. Literally the worst possible start. I can take the KO with one more quick attack, and next up is Lopunny holding the eject button. I quick attack on the first turn she's out to trigger the eject button, forcing her out into Combuskin. Combuskin always wants to click Incinerate here, so I can switch into Vespiquen, who is never dead without being crit, and thankfully I skillfully dodge all critical hits and land the super effective Air Slash, which has a chance of killing, but unfortunately doesn't land the roll. So we sacrifice Vespi for our first death of the run. But thanks to the valiant sacrifice, I can swap Masquerain back in and take her second KO of the battle with a quick attack. This brings Lopunny back out. Lopunny is currently about to launch a 140 base power Retaliate into anyone in my party, surely knocking anyone out. Except for my Cufant, who's a steel typing to resist Lopunny's normal typing. From here, I'm going to do what is called a pivot chain. I'm going to switch between Cufant on the normal moves and Masquerain on the fighting moves to lower Lopunny's attack with Masquerain's Intimidate ability while taking minimal damage. Once I've lowered her attack enough, I can switch into my Shell Armored Grottle, who can safely 1v1 with a series of Mega Drains and Razor Leaves. This brings out Hitmontop. Once again, I can do the same exact Intimidate pivot chain I did on Lopunny, but this time switching in with Luxio 2, who also has the Intimidate ability and can paralyze Hitmontop with Nuzzle. With Shell Armor preventing crits and Paralysis slowing down, Grottle can once again win another safe 1v1 after whittling him down with Mega Drains and Razor Leaves once again. This brings out Poliwhirl, and unfortunately I took too much damage on my Luxio, so I'm going to have to sacrifice my Cufant. This allows me to get a free switch into Luxio, who can then take the slow kill, only leaving Scraggy left in the back. For Scraggy, the only thing in my entire box that I had that could damage this was the Pancham that I was disappointed in getting with quad effective Covet. So my plan for this was just to pray to 1v1, and I got so lucky with a critical hit that mattered on the last turn to take my first gym badge of Run and Bun. This is why I love this game. You can catch a Pokemon that you thought was completely useless, and then out of nowhere, its typing and move pool become the perfect missing piece to the puzzle. You'll see this exact scenario come up countless times throughout this run. Now that Brawly is down, we can head into Petalburg Woods. Unfortunately though, some footage got lost and Petalburg Woods was part of it. In there, I picked up a Steenie, and from Route 116, I grabbed a tie road. And I decided to delay 115 for a chance at a big late game powerhouse, and I'm also delaying Rustboro for my fossil encounter, which I get after Gym 3. Once Brawly's out of the way, we can pretty much just walk straight into Roxanne's gym for badge number 2. Now I personally think that Roxanne is the easiest gym leader in the game, but that doesn't mean she's a pushover. Let's break down her team. Her lead Bisharp is holding a Focus Sash, but most fighting types at this point of the game can safely 1v1 that typically. Her legendary is Zygarde 10% form, which has insane coverage and is easily her second biggest threat. She's also packing an Aurorus, which gets pretty hard walled by fighting types again if they can switch in safely. Next is her solid rock Rindoberry Caracosta. Only a few Pokemon can effectively counter this, but if you have one, it's manageable. Then is her weakness Policy Lunatone, which is hands down her scariest mon. Hit it with a super effective move and it will punish you hard with stored power, and if it scores an Ancient Power Omni Boost, it can wipe your whole team. And her final ace Pokemon is a Lumberry Solrock, which does huge amounts of damage for Gen 2. This fight would have been brutal for my box if it weren't for that tie road that I pulled earlier. Once again, the game hands me exactly what I need to survive. I lead with Hitmonlee into Roxanne's Bisharp. One double kick takes the KO and bypasses the Focus Sash since it hits twice. That baits out the scary dog, Zygarde. I swap into my Eldegoss on the resisted 1000 arrows and drop its speed by 1. My counter is Dreadnought, but mine's terrible, still too slow, so I have to repeat the pivot chain to bring Zygarde down 2 stages. Now that I outspeed, I bring Dreadnought back in and Ice Fang for the KO. This brings out Aurorus on an Earth Power. This is always just an easy switch back into Hitmonlee, who is never at risk of anything here, so I can safely take the fast kill on the following turn. Solrock enters next, going for a Psycho Cut. So I run an Intimidate pivot chain between Masquerain and Tortuga before bringing out Grotto. Unfortunately, I get flinched literally 3 times in a row, costing me way more HP than I was expecting, but I still secure the KO, and then Roxanne's scariest Pokemon hits the field, Lunatone. I pivot Tortuga on the Icy Wind, and then Eldegoss on the Ancient Power to drop its speed. From there, I switch Hitmonlee in on a Miss Hypnosis, and then 2 low kicks take the KO, giving Lee his 3rd KO of the battle. Her last mon is Caracosta. I switch in Grotto to break the Rindoberry, and then heal up with Synthesis on Eldegoss and land the final blow with Leaf Tornado. That's 2 badges and 2 deaths. At this point, we're flying through the game. The level cap is now 32, and most of the trainer battles on these upcoming routes barely need any planning. I'm on my way to Mauville to take on the 3rd gym. I swing by Rusturf Tunnel and pick up a Trapinch, which has a lot of value in the upcoming mid-game. From there we roll into Vanderturf Town, where I grab a Petalil, and on Route 117 I snag our final encounter, a Toxel, which has a super cool Poison Electric typing. But when there's many easy fights in a row, that only means one thing. Meet Shell, one of my 2 rivals in this game. Shell is the last trainer that I need to fight before entering Mauville and then entering the 3rd gym. She's by far the hardest fight we've had up to this point, so let's jump right in. Shell's lead of choice is Lapras, but I have the best counter in the game to it in Hitmonlee. Turn 1, I go for Fake Out to get some much needed chip, and then finish the job the next turn with Low Kick. That KO brings out the most dangerous threat, Togekiss. With the Super Luck ability and the held scope lens, a high crit move is guaranteed to crit every time. I pivot into Dreadnought on the Air Slash, and then into Eldegoss on the Grass Knot, dropping Togekiss' speed in the process. From there, I switch into our newest team member, Toxtricity, on another Air Slash. Toxtricity can safely 1v1 with 2 discharges, and bait in Delcatty, who is guaranteed to Fake Out. My plan was to swap in Dreadnought here, but I messed up the bait order earlier, forcing me to risk a crit. Luckily, we survive with 17 HP and force out Rhydon. This is always a random move, but we can freely switch into Seadra, who never dies to any roll. And on the following turn, we can take the fast KO with Octazooka. Next is Shell's Vespiquen. Painfully, in Toxtricity's first real fight, I have to sack him for some vital chip damage, but then Pangoro can come in for his revenge kill and change straight into Slowbro Galar to clean up the match. One death against Shell is more than acceptable, and with the win, we finally have access to Mauville City, home of the 3rd gym. Watson's gym is no joke. Luckily, I have the best Pokemon in the entire game for it, Torterra. The level cap is now 35 after beating Shell, so I do have to invest another rare candy to bring Grotle up to level 36 to unlock Torterra. As an overall gym, Watson is for sure the hardest test we've faced yet. Let's dive into his team. Watson opens with a sturdy, Custap Berry, self-destructing Magnezone. Yeah, we're starting off with fireworks. His second party member is a Volt Absorb Lantern, built to be a bulky annoyance that spams Thunder Waves and wears you down. Next up is Rotom Fan, which is probably Watson's easier Pokemon on the roster, but it can still be irritating with Will-O-Wisp and Hex. Watson's legendary slot goes to Zeraora, a lightning-fast, hard-hitting electric type packing excellent coverage moves. Then there's Electros, which can be a real problem if you don't have the right counter. It loves to set up coils, and if it does, it becomes a full-on menace. And finally is Watson's ace, Ampharos. Not just Ampharos, but Mega Ampharos, the first Mega of the entire run, and most definitely not the last. For Watson's Magnezone, I lead with who else? Hitmonlee, my go-to opener for every big fight since I've got him. One fake out to break the sturdy, followed by a low kick, and the floating magnet goes down, and this immediately brings out his legendary Zeraora. Time for the classic pivot chain. Torterra in on the electric moves, Masquerain in on the fighting moves to drop attack, and Eldegoss in on the grass moves to lower speed. It's a nasty little loop that barely cost me any HP, and once Zeraora's stats are crippled, Torterra can come in and finish the job with a clean KO with Seed Bomb. Next up is Lantern aiming for an Ice Beam. I swap into Hitmonlee for another fake out, followed by a double kick for Chip. Then I bring out my newly evolved Hisui and Lilligant, who slices through with a Leaf Blade, taking the kill. Rotom Fan takes the stage, hungry for a KO with Air Slash. Luxray jumps in to dish out as much damage as possible with Wild Charge and Sparks, and when Luxray is on his last legs, I pivot to Hisui and Lilligant once again, who snags her second KO of the fight with Poison Jab. That baits in Electros. Masquerain can come up for the Intimidate, Torterra soaks up the Thunder Punch, and then a few Seed Bombs later, it goes down. Finally, the ace, Mega Ampharos. It Mega Evolves right away, and as long as it doesn't paralyze me, I can secure the win without losing anyone. Luck is on my side, and we walk away with our 3rd gym badges, only 3 deaths in the entire run so far. Fantastic pace. After you get your 3rd badge in Run and Bun, instead of going up to Lava Ridge Town, you go through Cycling Road and back to Petalburg to challenge your father Norman for the 4th gym badge. Cycling Road isn't too hard, up until one fight. In my opinion, there's 3 Guardians of the mid-game. Shell, who we beat with 1 death, Watson, who we have just beat deathless, and now the final and 3rd mid-game Guardian. Cycling Road Rival, arguably the hardest of the 3, and I'm gonna spoil it, in my opinion, this might have been my worst cook of the entire run. May leads with an Indeedee setting up Psychic Terrain. That means that Psychic moves get powered up and any grounded Pokemon can't use priority moves. My lead is Pangoro, the perfect choice here. Indeedee loves setting up screens, but I can endlessly break them while dealing damage with Brick Break, basically netting a free damageless first KO. This immediately brings out May's biggest demon, the chicken. I pivot to Masquerain on a close combat, which drops its defenses and attack, and I sacrifice the bug for the greater good. That gives me a free switch into Seadra. I literally had nothing else in my box to handle this safely, so I risk a crit, and once again luck is on my side. Next out is Weavile, and yes, you're gonna hate me. I switch into Caracosta, and you guessed it, risk another critical hit. I don't know if I planned this fight in 2 seconds or what, but it feels like I could have found something better. From here, I handle Kingdra well by spamming Synthesis with Torterra to heal up while he lowers its defense with Scale Shot, and then I take the KO with Seed Bomb cleanly. This brings out Serena, who wants to go for triple axle, so I switch in my brand new Talonflame, who can stay healthy with Roost and take the KO with Flame Charge. May only has 1 Pokemon left, and it's Alcremie. I burn her with Will-O-Wisp, and then I pivot chain between Pangoro on the Psychic moves and Talonflame on the Fairy moves, letting the burn slowly chip away. Finally, I switch Torterra back in and use the remaining Synthesis PP to stay healthy and land the final KO with Seed Bomb. Honestly, I just want to move past this fight forever. I think after that fight, I was fed up with bad cooks. Route 103 is filled with really hard trainers the whole way through. Like, take this doubles fight against Black Belt Rhett and Guitarist Marcos for example. I'm just going to show the live commentary because I did a good job of it in this fight. Alright, we actually had to cook for this one a little bit. What the AI sees right now is it sees dual Wing Beat Fast KO onto Lilligant, and it sees a slow KO with Ice Punch on also Lilligant. Both of those get eaten by Caracosta. We can take this slow kill on Crobat. The whole gimmick of this fight is the left side sets up Tailwind for the right side, who are just insanely hard-hitting motherfuckers to just go crazy. There's the dual wing beat. Should see the wild charge here. Beautiful. And we'll see Ice Punch. Beautiful. We're Asper Berry if this freezes. Nice. Noivern comes in. So now Noivern sees fast KO on Costa. We do that. And can we Thunderbolt this, or do we have to? We have to Wild Charge. They both see fast kills in the left slot, so Luxray is free to do whatever he wants here. And we can switch into Torterra, who takes both of these moves, Shell Armor so it can never die, and we Wild Charge this slot. Should be close combat Dragon Pulse. Wild Charge comes out, takes the kill. Close combat comes out. And it's going to bring me down to less than 25. Yep. But that's a guaranteed range to always live. And since he goes down to -1 defenses, we can always kill this with a double up with Giga Drain and Thunderbolt. So Giga Drain, Thunderbolt. Recover some HP. Nice. Luxray's third KO of the fight, by the way. Critical hit didn't matter. This should always be Heracross, because it's looking at Torterra's slot on a, I believe, a guaranteed leech life. If not, maybe a chance for Facade. But no, yeah, this is always a guaranteed leech life. Yeah, ideally, it's leech life into one of these slots. Ideally, I would have been smart and given a citrus to make this a little cleaner of a line, but I prepared for this. So we just switch into both of our flying types. Both of them take absolutely no damage. Nice. And we can take the fast guaranteed KO with Acrobatics. And we can also switch into Lilligant back in this slot. And then both my mons are faster, and it's guaranteed kills. And that was a riskless fight, ladies and folks. Oh no, the citrus berry! Come on, bro. There you go. Riskless double battle. I clear out the rest of the trainers on the route, pick up a Magneton on the way, and then from there I can officially go back to Petalburg to challenge the 4th gym leader, Norman. Literally the worst news ever. I lost all my footage of the Norman battle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate the whole thing for you for my best ability. Norman's gym is where the difficulty really spikes. His trainers are a massive step up from anything we faced so far, and from this point forward, the game's scaling goes into overdrive. Norman leads with a bulky monster in Porygon 2 with an Eviolite. Practically unkillable without strong answers. His second slot is Azumarill, easily the weakest member of his squad, but you can't get complacent. Then there's Diggersby rocking huge power, which effectively gives it a base attack stat of 144, the single hardest hitter we faced yet. Norman's legendary is Meloetta. Without a solid game plan, this thing can tear holes in your team, and after that comes Cincino with Skill Link plus the King's Rock, meaning every single turn it practically has a 50-50 chance to flinch. And finally, Norman's ace, Mega Pidgeot, spamming Hurricanes and Hyper Voices, both never missing thanks to no guard. So yeah, even without the footage, let's walk through this fight and recreate it to the best we can. I lead the Norman fight with Hitmonlee, fake up for chip, and then 2 double kicks to cleanly take out the Porygon 2. That immediately baits in Diggersby, who wants to slam down an Earthquake. I pivot Torterra to eat the hit, and then swap into Cloyster on the follow-up foul play. From here, Cloyster is able to 1v1, finishing it off with a Razor Shell and an Ice Shard. Next up is Meloetta. I bring in Eldegoss on the Relic Song, which changes Meloetta's form into Puree form. Then I pivot Talonflame on the incoming close combat, and Talonflame easily secures a KO with an Acrobatics. Cincino's out next. I start by swapping to Eldegoss on a Rock Blast to drop its speed, and then pivot into Hitmonlee on the Triple Axle. One fake out plus double kick later, Cincino goes down. Then Norman brings out his ace, Mega Pidgeot. Here I call to sacrifice Cloyster, giving me a free switch into Luxray. Luxray then lands a Nuzzle and locks it down with a Paralysis, and then finishes the job with a Wild Charge. This only leaves Azumarill. Torterra can come back in and clean it up with 2 Giga Drains. And I know this graphic isn't perfect since the footage was lost, but I'm confident that this is exactly how it went down, and I know for sure that the only mon I lost was Cloyster. But anyway, we move forward. Now that Norman's beaten, the journey continues toward Flannery. The first stop is the desert, which is actually a really tough section of the game. A lot of trainers here carry items like Bright Powder and the Focus Band, which makes battles really frustrating to cook. In the desert, I pick up an Excadrill, which is absolutely amazing for an upcoming fight. From Mirage Tower, I snag a Claydol, which fills a really similar niche to Excadrill, but isn't quite as good. The tower also gives me a Fossil, which randomizes from gens 1 through 8, and I end up with an Ammonite, which is actually a pretty solid addition. With that, I'm able to roll through the rest of the desert mostly risk-free. After clearing it out, I head up to Route 113 where I can grab an almost guaranteed Dark type, and I end up with a Houndoom. Not the strongest option, probably the bottom of the pack among the Dark types of the route, but still a nice depth piece for the box. Route 113 plays out similar to the desert, a bunch of mid-level difficulty battles leading up to one tough capstone fight. The fight against Vito Winstraight, who serves as a mini boss fight with a really strong team, his ace being Mega Aggron. Vito leads with an Alakazam, while I open with Corviknight. 2 Drill Pecks are enough to safely take out the Spoon Boy, which baits in Crobat. I pivot to my pre-frozen Flygon to absorb the incoming Heat Wave. I have a pre-frozen Flygon because when you're frozen and you get hit by a Fire-type move, it immediately thaws you out, and on that same turn you can't be burned. From there, 2 Rock Slides secure the KO. Next is Swellow. My answer is Dreadnought, who resists everything Swellow has to throw at it. 1 Rock Slide is enough to knock it out. Breloom comes in for the fast kill, so I pivot Talonflame on the incoming fighting move. A Roost keeps me healthy, and an Acrobatics takes down the Breloom. Crawdaunt shows up next, and I bring out my starter Torterra. 2 Giga Drains remove the Crawdaunt while restoring my HP, and that only leaves Vito's ace, Aggron. On turn 1, I fire off an Earthquake as Vito goes for Iron Head. From here, I spam Synthesis until eventually he uses Autotomize, which he's likely to go for, and once that happens, I know the game is over because Aggron can't 2-hit KO me while I always 2-hit KO with Earthquake. A clean, riskless win over Vito. After defeating Vito, we unlock a new wave of encounters. First up is Fall Arbor Town, where we pick up an Azumarill, one of the earliest fairy types available, and easily one of the best pulls we could ask for. From the Desert Underpass, we catch a Crustle. I've never really used one before honestly, but it seems pretty underwhelming. Then on Route 114 we snag a Cutiefly, another fairy type, which is probably one of the stronger options from the area. After these encounters I can go through a gauntlet through Meteor Falls where I have to fight 7 trainers with no access to the Poké Center. I breeze through all of the trainers with relatively no issues, and I decide to try and delay my Meteor Falls encounter for a really strong Pokemon later. Once the gauntlet is done, Route 112 opens up, and it has a really high chance of giving me Arcanine, the single best Pokemon I gotta have for Flannery's gym. That's a weird looking Arcanine. Oh well, I've still got a couple more shots of grabbing a fast rock type, so I'm not worried. A few trainers later, I head through Fiery Path and pull a Camerupt, probably the worst Pokemon in the pool. And just like that, we run into our first showdown with Team Magma on Mount Chimney. Once again, I have a 1 in 3 chance of pulling a fast rock type here, but we pull a 4% Jangmo-o, which is super rare, so I can't complain. One more shot. Team Magma and their rivals Team Aqua are the two evil teams that we'll be battling throughout this run, and their first appearance is no joke. There's two main fights we need to prepare for: Admin Tabitha and Leader Maxi. Tabitha is up first, and in some ways she's even tougher than Maxi himself. Her ace is a Mega Absol. Tabitha opens with the Torkoal holding a Quick Claw, which can be terrifying if it activates at the wrong time. My safest option here was to throw a lower value Pokemon to neuter it. I send out Pangoro and use Embargo to disable its item. I'm risking crit on this turn, but if Pangoro goes down, I'm totally fine with the trade. From there I pivot Omastar on the Flamethrower and Power Gem to take out the Torkoal. That brings an Espeon, but Houndoom can come in clean on the Psychic, and one Sucker Punch plus Life Orb Recoil is enough to finish it off. Next up is Victory Bell. I swap in Eldegoss on the Solar Blade to drop its speed, and then pivot Omastar on the Gunk Shot. Now baiting another Solar Blade, I can bring in Talonflame and finish it with an Acrobatics. Armaldo gets sent out next. I switch into my brand new Kuma-O on the Rock move, and then two Sky Uppercuts remove it. This only leads to Tabitha's ace, Mega Absol. I take the free switch into Houndoom on the Psycho Cut, and then pivot into Eldegoss to lower its speed. Again, risking a crit, but Eldegoss starts to fall off in value anyways in this point of the game, so I'm okay with it. After that, I go to Pangoro on another Psycho Cut, Omastar in on a Fire Blast, and finally, Kuma-O on a critical hit knockoff to land the winning Sky Uppercut. I was ready to sacrifice multiple Pokemon in this fight, but the crits landing in my favor instead of against me, I got out cleanly. But we don't get a rest. Immediately, we're going straight into Maxi. He is a very threatening team, acting almost like a mini gym leader with a Mega Camerupt and a mythical Zarude. Maxi leads with Crustle, who wants to set up Stealth Rocks and Spikes. I hit it with a couple of Power Gems, Rapid Spin the hazards away, and then KO it the next turn. This brings out Aerodactyl, who just gets hard walled by my Omastar. One Surf takes it out. Next is Maxi's own Kuma-O, and my Rabambi has a perfect typing to 1v1 it. One quad effective Moonblast does the job, and this baits in Maxi's ace, Mega Camerupt. I swap into Kingdra on the fire move, which is quad resisted, and then I can take the one hit KO with Waterfall. This brings out Maxi's legendary Zarude. I can swap in my Kuma-O, launch a Sky Uppercut and take the KO, and that only leaves Wobbuffet, who I can just chain kill, and with that, Team Magma is finished. For now. Once they're out of my way, I can grab my last chance at a fast rock type before Flannery, and I get... oh fuck. I'll explain in a moment why that's so bad, but for now, we can beat the rest of the trainers on the route and make our way to Lava Ridge Town, where the 5th gym lies. In Lava Ridge Town, you're gifted an egg, which hatches into one of the 3 Hoenn starters. I'd rank them as Trico being the best, Mudkip at number 2, and Torchic last. And of course, I got the chicken. My encounter luck has been awful on these last few routes, but I suppose it's time for Flannery. Flannery is the easiest gym in the entire game, but only if you have one specific archetype of Pokemon. Can you guess what it is? That's right, a fast rock type. Flannery's fight is a double battle, which means if you have a speedy rock type, you can bait attacks into one slot and spam rock slides, hitting both enemies for super effective damage and tearing her team apart. The problem? We don't have one. We missed out on Arcanine twice, Lycanroc 3 times, and even Aerodactyl once. So sitting in our stinky little box right now are 0 fast rock types. And that changes everything. Instead of being the easiest gym leader in the game, Flannery instantly becomes one of the hardest. It's almost guaranteed that you'll lose a team member here, and even her gym trainers put up a real fight. Let's look at Flannery's team. Flannery's first party member is a Mega Charizard Y. Not much to say here, it's literally just a Mega Charizard, and its entire job is just to set up the sun to boost all her fire type moves. Next up is Salazzle, one of her weaker mons overall, but it's holding a Focus Sash, so it can get annoying since you can't one-shot it cleanly. Her legendary is Entei, which is just a super bulky, hard-hitting dog. It soaks up hits, dishes them back, and can easily be one of her most dangerous team members. Then comes in the VGC Menace, Incineroar. With Intimidate and an Assault Vest, the bulk is disgusting and it sticks around way longer than you want it to. Her second to last mon is Talonflame, which is probably her weakest option on paper, though it still benefits from the sun and can be disruptive if ignored. And finally, her quote-unquote ace, Alolan Marowak, holding the Thick Club. It's slow, but it hits absurdly hard, and it's just meant to be her hammer. If you give it a chance to swing, it'll take something down with it. I lead with some of my newest team members, an underleveled Combuskin and a Crustle. The reason Combuskin is underleveled is simple. It's bait. I want the AI targeting that slot. So turn 1, I go for Detect with Combustion, blocking all damage, while Crustle fires off a Rock Slide that cleanly KOs the Charizard and brings Salazzle down to its Sash. This forces out her legendary Entei. I pivot my middle-aged chicken into Omastar, who can comfortably eat both a Sludge Bomb and a Stone Edge. Another Rock Slide takes down Salazzle and chimps Entei for about half. Next up is Incineroar, and here's where I get really unlucky. There's only about a 3% chance it would fake out into Combustion, and of course it did. That means there was actually about a 1 in 500 chance that my chicken died because of the double up with Solar Beam, but thankfully it didn't. Either way, I get Flygon in safely. And on the following turn, I can go for Detect once again with Combustion, and Flygon bulldozes, bringing Entei down to about a quarter and Incineroar just below half thanks to a crit. Now I swap in Carracosta for my Combustion, and a Stomping Tantrum finishes off Entei, and this brings out Talonflame. I go for Protect with my Carracosta while Flygon launches a Rock Tomb, bringing Talonflame to about 25%. At this point, both sides see a KO on my Flygon, so I switch in Crustle, who I'm planning to sacrifice, but somehow he hangs on with 21 HP, and then Carracosta lands a Rock Slide, taking a double KO on both Incineroar and Talonflame. That only leaves her ace, Alolan Marowak. I Protect with Carracosta and go for a knockoff with Crustle, fully expecting Crustle to die this turn. But miraculously, Marowak targets into the Protect, letting me knock off, dealing about half. Now it's a coin flip whether or not Crustle can live on this turn, and unfortunately we lose the flip. Marowak takes out Crustle, but that opens the door for Flygon to come in and secure the final KO. All things considered, I think I got pretty unlucky in that fight, and we still only lost one team member and had a chance to save it against a sun boosted Flannery with no fast rock type. That was actually a fantastic cook. 5th gym badge down. After Flannery's beaten, you now get access to the Mega Ring, but more importantly, you get access to Surf. Now that we can Surf, I can grab an encounter that I've been delaying for the entire game, Petalburg City. There's a 50-50 chance to get a top 5 Pokemon in the game, being Primarina. Prim is pretty much a guaranteed Elite 4 bring, and the other option is Froakie, which is still really solid, but just not as good as Prim. We roll the encounter, and I get... Our bad luck streak continues. But there's still plenty of chances to get a good Fairy type, so I'll be fine. Here are all the other encounters I got. I got a Hisuian Electrode from New Mauville. I got a Muck from the Abandoned Ship, which is amazing. I pulled the 10% Dratini from Route 105. Maybe my encounter luck's coming back. I got a Barrascuda from Route 108, which is also fantastic for the upcoming rain section. And lastly, I got a Swablu from Route 118, another really quality Pokemon. My luck is back, baby. Then we move on to Route 119. Fight a lot of mid-level trainers until finally we reach the Weather Institute, the first real encounter with the second evil team, Team Aqua. In the Weather Institute, I fight 4 grunt battles, which are so annoying because they're lathered with luck-based items such as Bright Powders and Quick Claws. But after they're all taken care of, I can challenge the apex of the Institute, Admin Shelly. Shelly has a really quality team with a Mega Blastoise, a Pseudo Legendary, an Ultra Beast, and a regular Legendary. With all that being said though, I don't actually think she's that hard if you have the right answers. Shelly leads with the Mienshao, who I decide to counter with Ribombee. 2 Draining Kisses will take the KO, and it will also keep me pretty much at full health. This brings out Shelly's legendary Tornadus. I swap in Excadrill on the Acrobatics, and then Turtonator in on the Heat Wave. I can then 1v1 with a Dragon Pulse and Overheat, never risking crit due to my Shell Armor ability. Next out is her Ultra Beast, Nihilego. I swap in Excadrill on the guaranteed Meteor Beam, and then I can Rapid Spin to get +1 speed, and then Earthquake on the next turn to take the KO. Dragonite is next, so I swap in my Azumarill while Dragonite goes for Outrage, which I'm immune to because I'm a Fairy type. D-Knight is Choice Banded, which means it can only go for Outrage now that it's in. The AI swaps it out for Lantern while I launch a Play Rough into it. I can take the Free Switch into Excadrill on the Thunderbolt, and then take the KO the following turn with an Earthquake. This brings Dragonite back out, so I can switch my Azumarill back in, hit it with 2 Play Roughs to bring him down to about 25%, and then go for an Aqua Tail to chip him just a little more. And then I can switch in my Eldegoss, and I can go for a Rapid Spin to bring my speed up, and then take the KO. I set up that chain because her Mega Blastoise is now last, and since I set up the Rapid Spin, I now outspeed, so I go for a Leaf Storm, which has some killing rolls, but not many, but I didn't get it, but either way, I also never died to a crit, so I can just finish them off the next turn. Super quality and near riskless line. Beating Shelly gives me 2 things, my Route 119 encounter Cast Form, but it also gives me the Life Orb, which boosts my damage by 30% while sacrificing 10% of my HP every turn. Just a really good held item. After a fight like that, you'd think Run and Bun would give you a break, right? Wrong. The fight directly after is the bridge rival fight versus May. This is a double battles in the rain with electric terrain. She has quite the disgusting team with 2 megas and a pseudo, so let's get right into it. May opens with a Mega Blaziken and a Swift Swim Ludicolo, while I lead with an Omastar and a Floatzel. Turn 1, I protect with Omastar and flip turn Floatzel into Blaziken, cleanly knocking it out and pivoting into our brand new Dragonite. May brings in Heliolisk, so I swap to Electrode on the Energy Ball and Thunder while taking minimal damage, and then Dragonite enters back with an Icy Wind, dropping both the opponent's speed. Next turn, I Volt Switch my Electrode out into our Castform's very first fight, while Dragonite's Dragon Claw cleans up the Heliolisk and brings out Salamence. I sack Castform here, but get off another Icy Wind to slow them down further. That speed control lets me pick up a double KO on the following turn, with an Ice Punch on the Salamence and a dual Wing Beat handling the Ludicolo. Now only Metagross and Blastoise remain. I double switch into Electrode and Magneton and get insanely lucky with a double static proc, paralyzing both. Though my Thunder is blocked by Blastoise's Protect, but I can Volt Switch into the Metagross and swap out to my Omastar. From here, I protect my own Omastar and land a Thunder on the Blastoise to secure the KO. With it down to a 2v1, I swap Omastar for Dragonite, and 2 more Thunders are enough to finish off the Metagross. One Death Bridge rival is acceptable, especially since it was just a cast form, so it doesn't matter that much. Once those 2 mid-game testers are out of the way, there's only a few more fights on this route in the lane and electric field, and once they're over, we can walk straight into Fortree City and take on Winona for the 6th gym. Before I enter the gym though, there's a couple trainers I need to take care of, and then we can grab one last encounter in Route 120, and I pull a top 3 fighting type in the entire game. Sneasel Hisui. The good luck streak just continues. Winona's gym is no joke. Honestly, some of her trainers feel just as tough as she is. As the flying type gym leader, she easily has one of the hardest gyms in the game. Let's break down her team. She leads with a Choice Scarf Staraptor, a fast and dangerous opener, but is pretty abusable once you know what it's locked into. Next up is her Focus Sash Volcarona, and if you let this bug set up with Quiver Dance or Fiery Dance, it can spiral out of control fast. Third slot is Hawlucha, a brutally hard-hitting fighting flying type with the option to boost its stats even further with Swords Dance. Then comes her Ultra Beast, Celesteela, holding an Assault Vest. It's very slow, bulky, but hits like a truck, a real wall to break through. Winona's legendary is Shaman Sky, rocking Serene Grace and a toolkit of moves loaded with secondary effects. Easily her hardest Pokemon on her roster. And finally is her ace, Mega Altaria. Funnily enough though, Altaria is usually one of her easier mons to counter on the team, but don't let it fool you, the rest of her squad can make getting to it an absolute war. I lead with Blaziken against her Staraptor. Right away, I pivot into Magnezone as Staraptor locks into Double Edge. One Thunderbolt later, the bird is down, though I do lose about 50% of my HP. Next is her Volcarona. I swap into my Dragonite on the Fiery Dance, and then a dual Wing Beat cleanly takes it out, leaving Dragonite on around 75%. Hawlucha comes in next. I pivot Magnezone on the flying move, and then switch into Azumarill on the fighting move. From there, a Play Rough and Aqua Jet knocks it out, barely scratched. That brings in her scariest Pokemon, Shaman Sky. I cycle through Dragonite, and then into Corviknight, and luckily I avoid all flinches, and Corviknight fires a Brave Bird, which just takes the KO. Mega Altaria hits the field, but I've got my brand new Sneasler. One Fake Out plus Gunk Shot cleanly takes the knockout. That only leaves Celesteela. With some careful pivoting between Azumarill, Corviknight, and then eventually getting Blaziken in safely, once he's set, a Flare Blitz absolutely nukes it, securing me the 6th gym badge. And best of all, a deathless Winona fight. I honestly couldn't be happier with how this fight turned out. Now that Winona is officially down, we've entered the longest and hardest split of Run and Bun, so buckle in. We kick things off with a couple of new encounters. First is a guaranteed Kecleon from Fortree, and then from the Scorched Slab, we pull the single best support Pokemon in the entire game, Golisopod. Gliss is amazing thanks to her signature ability, Emergency Exit. Whenever she drops below 50% HP from direct damage, it's basically a free eject button and you can switch out to whoever you want, and this kind of tempo control is massive for any fight. With those two in the bag, the road to Lily Cove begins. Route 120 isn't too bad, just some easy trainers, but we do pick up a very important item, the Altaria Knight. Then on Route 121, I get another encounter, Alakazam, not super useful for the upcoming fights, but it's got insane Elite Four potential. While passing through the Safari Zone, I snag the Grass Starter Chespin. If I invest some hard skills, he actually becomes a real contender for the Elite Four as well. After all those catches and a few more trainers, we finally reach Lily Cove City, where I can grab my last encounter of the stretch in Manic Trick. Pretty neutral overall, but I'm excited to test out its Mega. Lily Cove is a milestone I've been looking forward to for one reason: the rival fight with May. She's no joke anymore, and her team now packs a pseudo-legendary, a mythical, a legendary, and a Mega. A massive step up from last time we saw her on the bridge. I lead with Altaria versus her Garchomp. Here's why the Mega Stone was so important. I can do my first Mega Evo of the entire run and change my type from Dragon Flying to Dragon Fairy, netting Garchomp's Dual Chop useless, and then I can take the one-shot with Facade. This brings out May's Weavile. Weavile can never touch Azumarill, so it's an easy swap there, and one Play Rough and one Aqua Jet picks up my second KO. Next is Articuno. I just swap into my Magnezone here and can safely 1v1 always with a couple of Thunderbolts. And now out is May's Machamp. I can pivot through Golisopod, go below half, and then switch out to my Altaria again, and snag her second KO of the fight with another Facade. This drags out Melmetal. I had given Golisopod a Citrus Berry before, so when it fell below half, the Citrus Berry procced, bringing it above half, but it still switched out. So I can now switch back into Golisopod, drop below half for a second time this fight, and bring out my Chicken, who is pre-damaged to be in Blaze range, who can cleanly take the one-shot now with Overheat. This only leaves May's Mega Chicken. I swap in Azumarill once more on the Fighting type move, and then I have nothing in my box who can ever safely 1v1 this without risking a crit, so I just risk my Azu, and if it lives, it lives, if it doesn't, it doesn't, but May does spare us. We take the kill with the Aqua Tail, and then we move on. That was a super solid deathless fight, and now I get to challenge Mount Pyre, where Team Aqua is hiding out. We're now entering one of the hardest stretches in all of Run and Bun, starting with Mount Pyre. Inside Mount Pyre, there are 17 battles ranging from annoying teams with bright powders and focus bands to ones that are so difficult that they can take up to hours just to plan a safe route. Luckily, there's a saving grace right before heading in. An encounter on Route 122. Most of the options here range from bad to mid, but I end up pulling the least likely and the most impactful partner possible for the rest of the run. Welcome to the team, Dreepy. Dragapult is going to be a cornerstone for my strategy in these upcoming sections, and you'll see exactly why he ends up being so crucial. But back to Mount Pyre, once all the trainers on the inside are cleared out, the path leads us up to the summit where all the Aqua Grunts and admins are waiting. Every fight on the way up feels like a warm-up compared to what's waiting at the top. The summit of Mount Pyre is brutal because it has permanent Tailwind active, but only for the other team. That means that I have to go through all these fights without ever holding the speed advantage pretty much. If you think that sounds unfair, you're absolutely right. With Perma Tailwind, the AI can take slow, bulky, hard-hitting Pokemon, suddenly turn them into outspeeding monsters. Just imagine some of these guys at double speed. It's nasty. And yet, that's not even the worst part. The final fight in Mount Pyre is a tag battle against Archie with Shell as my partner. On paper, it's a 6 vs 6 double battle, but I only bring 3 Pokemon and the other 3 are controlled by Shell's AI. This fight has wiped countless runs before me, and for good reason. Here's what our team looks like. I brought Muck, Sneasler, and Azu, while Shell brought Delcatty, Rhyperior, and Mega Venusaur. These turn 1 matchups don't matter, and I'll tell you why. To keep it simple, I have a bomb. One normal gem boosted explosion takes out everyone on the field, instantly clearing away this horrid lead. Now on the field is my Sneasler and Shell's Rhyperior, while Archie sends out Rotom and Dragalge. Rotom is very likely to go for Reflect here, so I target it with Brick Break. As expected, Rotom sets a Reflect, and I break right through it, picking up the KO in the process. Meanwhile, Dragalge and Rhyperior trade some damage. That turn went about as good as possible. Archie now brings out his ace, Mega Sharpedo. Sharpedo picks up the KO on Shell's Rhyperior, but I'm able to launch another Brick Break for the one-shot, while Dragalge's Focus Blast barely dents me. That leaves Shell's Venusaur against Archie's Stakataka and Dragalge. Dragalge protects, and I once again Brick Break straight into Stakataka to pick up the Oko. Now it's a 2v1. I swap into Azu just to make sure nothing goes wrong, and Shell finally does something useful, and Venusaur lands a Stomping Tantrum to finish off the fight. This battle can be very scary without the right planning and tools. I sacrificed Muck to make it nearly riskless, and I'll take that trade any day. Now I want you to ask yourself right now, do you think Mount Pyre was hard? If you said yes, you're soft. Welcome to Magma Hideout. Magma Hideout is by far the most grueling and pain-invoking section you will enter in this entire game. Now the first 12 fights in the Hideout are your standard run and bun annoyance matches. Sack teams, bright powders, quick claws, focus bands, you name it, someone's abusing RNG or enabling busted Pokemon. They're tough but not backbreaking. With the right lines, you can beat all of them deathless. But the final room in Magma Hideout, famously nicknamed Hell Room, is where things get really ugly. Every battle in Hell Room has permanent Magma Storm effect, but only for my team. So what this means is at the end of every turn, my Pokemon take 12.5% chip damage, and I also cannot switch unless they're either a Ghost type, holding a Shed Shell, which I only get 2 of in the entire game, or if they use a move like U-Turn or Volt Switch, which manually switches them out during the turn. Absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, if you can get through all of Magma Hideout with around 6 deaths, in my opinion, that's insanely good. There are a total of 5 fights in Hell Room, and I'm going to cover the last 2 of them. First up is Admin Tabitha. This is the first full team of 6 we face under the Magma Storm, so going deathless here is pretty much impossible. Tabitha leads with the Ultra Beast Bucephalon, and I lead with Dragapult, by far the best mon for Hell Room since its Ghost typing lets it switch out freely. 1 Dragon Darts deletes the Disco Clown. Yanmega's up next, so I sack my Stoutland, the first useful thing this dog has done all run, and this lets me pivot safely into my Electrode to take the clean Thunderbolt Oko. Snorlax follows, so I Volt Switch out into Golisopod. Thanks to the emergency exit ability, I can pivot right into my Lilligant, who picks up the KO with close combat, and this conveniently baits out Victini. Victini fires off a V-Create, taking out the Lilligant, but its eject pack forces it off the field, so now in comes Hitmonlee versus my Dragapult. 1 Dragon Darts is enough to remove the Hitmon, and drag Victini back out. I swap into my newly caught Hydreigon on a Psychic, and a Dark Pulse sends Victini packing. This only leaves Mega Absol. Since Hydreigon's holding the Shed Shell, I can swap freely into Golisopod and can finish it off with First Impression. Only 2 deaths, Stoutland and Lilligant against Tabitha is about average, totally content with that fight. But then we reach the apex, Leader Maxi. This fight is gross, and simply surviving it just feels like an achievement. She opens with a Groudon, and I lead with Electrode. A Grass Gem boosted Solar Beam always secures the KO, baiting in Naganadel. I sack Electrode, and then pivot into Flygon. Flygon can then eat the Flamethrower, and class back with the Draco Meteor, taking the KO. Tangrowth now hits the field, and I sadly lose my Flygon here. This is the first death that actually stings. I bring in Victory Bell though, and 1 Sludge Bomb takes the revenge kill. Maxi sends in Garchomp now, and I sack another Mon to get Dragapult in safely. Dragon Darts drops the Chomp and forces out Mew. I pivot into Hydreigon on the Psychic, and then set up Tailwind, and from here I can chip with Dark Pulse, and then take the KO with U-Turn, switching me out to Como-O in the process. Maxi's final Mon is Mega Houndoom. With the Tailwind still active, Como-O outspeeds and closes the fight with a close combat. That's Maxi down, and Magma Hideout cleared. With only a total of 5 deaths, I'm more than happy with that result. We did lose some valuable members in Electrode and Flygon, but it had to happen. And after you beat Team Aqua at Mount Pyre and Team Magma at Magma Hideout, you'd think eventually we'd be allowed to enter Moss Deep Gym, right? Nope. For some reason you had to fight Team Aqua, and then Team Magma, and then Team Aqua one more time in the Aqua Hideout. But thankfully, this section is way more relaxed compared to the 2 gauntlets that we just survived. Aqua Hideout only has 9 total fights, so much easier than Magma Hideout. Most of them are your standard RNG items and Evil Team shenanigans, but this time there's no permanent Tailwind, no Magma Storm nonsense, none of that. The only real roadblock here is Aqua Admin Matt, our first encounter with him. His team is just stacked with offensive monsters, which makes switching in incredibly punishing. Just look at this idiot Dracovish. Its only move is Vicious Rend. Normally it's scary, but here's the kicker. It's holding the Choice Scarf, so it always goes first, which means Vicious Rend's power is doubled. So it starts off as a base 85 power move. Since it goes first, it's doubled to 170. It has a Strong Jaw ability, which gives it an extra 50% boost, so now it's 225 base power. And to top it all off, it's a Stab Attack, same type attack bonus, so it's boosted all the way up to 382.5 base power. That's absolutely absurd, and even a Quad Resist is still taking massive damage. Archie leads Mamoswine, and I send out Sneasler. 1 Fake Out into close combat takes the KO and baits the fish with the big mouth. I swap into Kingdra, who Quad Resists and is still taking a quarter damage. Absolutely insane. Thankfully, 2 Dragon Pulses with a Citrus Berry makes it relatively safe to 1v1, and next is Dragapult. I pivot into Gliss, who can eat the Dragon Darts, and safely swap to Altaria. Now he can hit the same Mega Evo Ankle Breaker we pulled on May, take 0 damage, and fire back with a clean one-shot Facade. Kartana comes in next. I pivot Corviknight on the Smart Strike, and then Sneasler in on the Sacred Sword. One close combat simply drops it. Matt's legendary Raikou is next. I bring in Altaria on the Scald, heal off with Roost, and then 2 Facades kill the Raikou 100% riskless. This only leaves Mega Gyarados. I swap into Chestnut as it sets up a Dragon Dance, but I'm not worried even though it sounds scary. My typing completely walls Mega Gyarados and 2 Hammer Arms finishes the job. And with that, I finally secure access to the 7th gym. In my opinion, Mossy Gym is by far the hardest gym in the entire game. In the vanilla games, all the trainers are just single battles and then Tate and Liza is the double battle. But in Run and Bun, it's flipped on its head. Every single trainer is a carefully built double battle with actual team synergy, while Tate and Liza are back-to-back single battles with no healing in between. This place is brutal. Real sweaty Pokemon gameplay. Just look at this fight against Psychic Blake and Samantha. They lead Berserker and Porygon 2 while I send out Sneasler and Camerupt. Their strategy is a Trick Room team, but I'm going to flip that against them. Turn 1 Sneasler fires off a close combat to cleanly KO the Berserker, while Camerupt doesn't Mega Evolve for a very specific reason. Instead, I just launch an Eruption, which just chips Porygon a little bit and allows it to set up Trick Room, effectively reversing the speed order. Because Camerupt didn't Mega Evolve, Rampardos now sees a free kill, so it switches in, which is exactly what I wanted. I start off the turn by swapping Sneasler out into Corviknight and Mega Evolving Camerupt, which lowers my speed. Now I move first under Trick Room. One Earthquake drops the Rampardos and chips Porygon just under half. Perfect turn. This baits in Bronzong. I swap Corviknight out for Turtonator and then fire off another Eruption. Bronzong instantly goes down and Porygon 2 is left hanging on a sliver. Now it's a 2v1. One Rapid Spin on Porygon picks up the KO, and I swap Camerupt into Chestnut. Blake sends out Hatterene just as Trick Room ends. I pivot Chestnut back into Corviknight and use Overheat on Turtonator to chip it down. At this point, it's checkmate. I swap Chestnut back in, KO Hatterene with Iron Head, and then finish off the last mon Jellicent with a Wood Hammer. These are the kinds of fights this gym is packed with, and honestly, it's some of the most fun cooking you'll experience in this whole entire game. Another great example is the very last gym trainer. They lead a level 1 Mara with the huge power ability, and it's coded to always explode on the first turn. Its partner Passimian has the receiver ability, so the whole gimmick is to pass around huge power to the whole team through roleplay and receiver. Such a clever setup. But the coolest fight of them all is Tate and Liza. First up is Tate. He opens with an Azelf holding the Focus Sash. Its whole job really is to set up Stealth Rocks and then go boom. Pretty straightforward. Next up is Mega Latios. No surprises here, it's a Mega Legendary and it hits like a truck. It also is packing Dragon Dance, so if you let it set up, it can snowball into something terrifying. Third is Zoroark. Honestly, never really a real issue as long as you know it's on the field and don't get baited by the illusion. And finally is Tate's last team member, the mythical Hoopa, holding Leftovers. This one is very abusable, and you'll see why soon. For Liza's team, she leads with a Tapu Lele holding an Assault Vest. Its real purpose here is just to set up the Psychic Terrain, which makes everyone on her team hit harder. Next is Latias, similar to Tate's Latios, but it's built differently. Instead of being a physical setup threat, this one plays like a bulky special attacker, soaking hits while dishing out steady damage. Then comes Mega Metagross. Absolutely disgusting 700 BST, absurd bulk, and insane damage output. Easily one of the scariest Megas in the game. And finally, her ace, Hoopa Unbound. Just think of it as Tate's Hoopa, except like better in every single way. So yeah, this is a 6 vs 8, and we have our work cut out for us for sure. I lead my Barraskewda into Tate's Azelf. Turn 1, Azelf goes for Future Sight while I flip turn into my Greninja. I hit it with a Fling while holding the King's Rock, which flinches the Magical Bean, and then on the next turn, I can take the KO with Dark Pulse, and that baits out Latios. I then swap back into Barraskewda and sack him for a free swap into Pult. One Dragon Darts takes the KO and forces out Hoopa. I'm just kidding. I know this is Zoroark. Another Dragon Darts picks up the back-to-back KO, and now Tate's real last Pokemon comes out, Hoopa. And we're gonna pull off a heist. Hoopa is holding the Leftovers, and I want them. In Run and Bun, after the 7th gym, you are given the Scanner item, which can be traded for any of the choice items, the Assault Vest, or the Leftovers, the most powerful held items in the entire game. If I steal Hoopa's Leftovers, I now get 2 of those Scanner items. The first step in the plan is to fully PP stall Hoopa. I swap into Pult on the Fighting type moves, Kecleon on the Ghost moves, and Greninja in on the Psychic moves. Once Hoopa only has Substitute left, I swap into my Kecleon and use the move Roleplay, which copies Hoopa's Magician ability, which steals held items on contact. I bet you can see where this is going. I now use Thunder Punch to steal the leftovers, and then I can take the KO after. A very successful heist. But the fight's not over yet. It's time for Liza. My lead is now Dragapult since I sacked Barraskewda. Pult takes the one-shot with Phantom Force, which baits out Mega Metagross. I pivot Greninja in on the Zen Headbutt, and then Corviknight in on the Earthquake. From here, I can spam Feather Dance to drop its attack all the way down to -6, and once it's neutered, I can swap into my starter Torterra, who can safely 1v1 with Earthquake while staying healthy with Synthesis. Once Metagross is down, Latias comes out, and I can just switch straight into my Pult on a Mystical Fire and KO with Phantom Force. That only leaves Hoopa unbound. My Dragapult can then take her third KO of the fight with one more Dragon Darts. That's a 1-death Tate and Liza, a pair of leftovers obtained, and now we get the most important guaranteed encounter of the run. The Bear. We're gifted a Kubfu, which can evolve either into the Wet Bear or the Creepy Bear. We want Creepy, but I got wet. Unlucky, but Urshifu Rapid Strike is still amazing for the rest of the game.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
We are now officially in the endgame of Run and Bun. First order of business, wiping out the evil teams, starting with Team Magma at the Space Center. Honestly, at this point, the whole game just feels uneventful. Maybe it's just because by now the trainer has access to so many items, Megastones, and moves that I just feel untouchable. Like, look at Admin Courtney's team. It's insane. But I cooked up a riskless line in like 5 minutes and beat her without sniffing any danger. Literally, look at my party's HP after the fight. Almost everyone's at full. That being said, the final fight against Leader Maxi and Admin Tabitha can be a doozy. It's another one of those tag double battles that we had with Shell, except this time our partner is Steven. And oh boy, does he bring a good supporting cast. Maxi and Tabitha lead with Landorus and Tyranitar, while I lead Kecleon and Steven sends out his box art legendary Dialga. By this point, after the 7th gym, Kecleon has lost all value, so it's the perfect sack while Steven sets up a Trick Room. Now I can bring out my Omastar holding the Choice Specs item and fire off a Surf which deletes Landorus and chips Tyranitar to about 25%, and Steven can clean it up with a Dragon Pulse. Next comes in Maxi's Garchomp and Tabitha's Moltres. Another Surf chips Garchomp for about 30% and wipes the Moltres, and once again Steven picks off the leftovers with the Dragon Pulse. That just leaves Heatran and Ferrothorn. I swap Omastar out for Dragonite, who can eat the Power Whip, while Steven scores his third KO with a Flamethrower on Ferrothorn. Heatran is the last one standing. Dialga chips it with an Aura Sphere, and I finish it off with a Brick Break, securing the win and the end of Team Magma. Now that one evil team is out of the way, it's time to take care of the other. We headed to Seafloor Cavern, where Team Aqua is planning one last hurrah. Unlike the other two evil team sections, which had no field effects, this place throws a brutal one at us. Permanent Aurora Veil. If you don't know what Aurora Veil is, it's basically a reflect and light screen combined, which effectively cuts my damage output in half. There are ways around it though. Moves like Brick Break, Psychic Fangs, or Defog all shatter the veil, but the catch is finding a safe opening to actually use them. Force it at a wrong time and you lose too much tempo and get steamrolled. But while the cavern only has 7 total battles, every single one of those is a full 6-man squad, and a lot of these grunts packing mythicals, megas, and straight up nasty team comps. To give you an idea of how tough it is, let me show you what one of these fights looks like. Admin Shelly is back one last time, and she brought her nastiest squad yet. Let's break down how I managed to navigate this demon. She leads with Tapu Fini to set up the misty terrain. I lead Sneasler. Fake Out into Brick Break shatters the veil, then Gunk Shot finishes off the Fini. Next up is Hawlucha. I pivot into my newly caught Avalugg on the acrobatics, and an Avalanche flattens the wrestler. Now Gengar hits the field. I sack Avalugg for tempo and bring in Dragapult. One Dragon Darts deletes the Ghost, and Shelly sends in Darmanitan. I pivot to Wall Ring on the Icicle Crash, and then a Super Fang and Surf cleanly removes it. Her legendary Kyurem comes out next. I pivot Golisopod in on the Earth Power, and Emergency Exit gives me a free switch to Sneasler. Fake Out into close combat secures Sneasler's second KO of the fight, and that only leaves her Mega Slowbro. I pivot straight into Hydreigon, who can close things out with a couple of Dark Pulses. One Death Shelly is fine, but that's really the difference between good and bad Run and Bun players. Almost every loss that I've had this run has been a low value mon such as Avalugg. The key is keeping your heavy hitters safe by letting your less useful Pokemon take the hits for them. And now, the final evil team fight of the entire game. Aqua Leader Archie. His whole squad is built around Kyogre and Mega Swampert, just a rain team from hell. As expected, Archie leads Kyogre while I lead Cradily. Kyogre fires off an Origin Pulse, but my Mirror Coat sends all that damage right back and one-shots it. Next is his Swift Swim Overquill. I let Cradily go down and then bring in Floatzel. I flip turn for Chip and then swap into Donphan on the Gunk Shot. I then pivot back into Floatzel and finish it off with a Liquidation. Archie then sends out his starter Superior. I flip turn once again into Donphan, this time sacking it for momentum, and grab a free switch into Golisopod, and a first impression smacks down the Grass Snake, which baits out Aegislash. Here I pivot Greninja, who drops into Torrent range after a crit Shadow Ball. And now it's time. Torrent boosted, Choice Specs boosted, Rain boosted, and Stab boosted. That's a base 445 serve, and it deletes Aegislash instantly. Zapdos comes in next and suffers the same exact fate, obliterated by Surf. And finally is Archie's ace, Mega Swampert. Since it outspeeds me due to the Mega, I pivot into Gyarados, who survives safely and can return fire with a Power Whip to end Archie. And with that, all the evil teams are finally finished. Now we just have some story progression left. I start by sailing the seas, and I guess there's like a weather war going on or something because Groudon and Kyogre are mad at each other, and the only way to save the Earth is to find the big green space snake. Well, I start by fighting a bunch of these trainers who are in permanent sun, and some of them are in perma rain and electric terrain, and the whole 9 yards. All these fights are actually kinda hard because their teams are tailored for their specific weather condition. Anyway, I arrive at the Sky Pillar, travel all the way up to the top, and would you look at that, I found the Space Snake. So now I can go back to Sootopolis, and everyone worked it out, I guess. So after I save the world, I can just get ready to challenge Juan for my 8th gym badge. Right before I enter the gym though, I get given the Devon Radar. In Run and Bun, you get 2 legendary encounters called Roamers, and you can look for them pretty much on any of the late game water routes as long as you didn't catch an encounter there yet. The only legendary that I want to see is Enamorus, because she's the best fairy type in the game, and I haven't even caught a good fairy type yet, which is kind of crucial for the Elite Four. There are a total of 7 roamers that you can catch, so my strategy is to catch the first legendary I see, therefore giving me a greater chance to catch Enamorus once I get my second Master Ball. I pull my first roamer and I get Latios, widely regarded as the best roamer in the game, and probably the best one that I could have gotten that wasn't Enamorus. It's Juan gym time. Juan's gym is super annoying. Half of the fights are in permanent hail, or they're like back to back with no access to the Pokemon Center in between. The one nice thing about this point in the game though is that I already have a general idea of who I want for my Elite Four team, so if someone isn't a contender, I can just sack them if I need to. Juan actually has a really tough team. Not only is he a double battle gym leader, but he's packing 4 pseudo legendaries or better, though by now I'm kinda used to that. His lead is Sneasler with a Focus Sash. It's just a frail, fast, and hard-hitting opener. Its partner Pokemon is Mega Glalie. Honestly, this Glalie has never really done anything to anyone. The one scary thing it can do is maybe click Protect if you don't expect it, but still, if you've made it this far in the game, you're not going to fall for that. Next up is the mythical Keldeo. It's bulky, it hits hard, and you've just got to be careful of it setting up coaching for its partner. Then comes Salamence with the Yachi Berry. Taking away its quad weakness to Ice, combined with the Intimidate, can make it tough to take off the field. Juan's second regular Pokemon is Basculegion. With the Water Gem and adaptability, its water moves hit like a truck. And lastly, his ace, Glastrier. This thing has criminal bulk and can be really annoying if you bait it out at the wrong time. Juan's team takes very precise planning, so let's see what I came up with. The lead I go for is Urshifu and Caracosta. Turn 1, I protect with Costa and launch a close combat into Glalie after it Mega Evolves. That cleanly takes it out while Sneasler just swings into Costa's Protect. Juan sends out Keldeo next. I swap Caracosta into Togekiss, who's holding the Jaboca Berry. That breaks Sneasler's Sash. Meanwhile, a close combat from Urshifu does about half to Keldeo, and Togekiss comfortably tanks 2 fighting moves. The following turn, I can bring Costa back in and finish Keldeo off with another close combat. Juan then sends in Basculegion. I get a free swap into Dragapult while Costa's Protect soaks up both of Juan's attacks. On the next turn, I bring out my brand new Scyther. Pult chips Basculegion with a Shadow Ball, and then Scyther goes down to an Aqua Tail, but that lets me switch into Chestnut for free, and then I immediately switch him back out for Caracosta again, while Pult cleans up both Juan's Pokemon with the Dragon Darts. Juan's last 2 mons are Glastrier and Salamence. I protect Caracosta, and Dragapult fires off a Draco Meteor into Salamence for another KO. Now it's a 2v1. I'll swap on Urshifu while Dragapult goes for Phantom Force, and together they finish off with a close combat and the Phantom Force. Riskless line, 1 death, Quan is done. I can taste victory now, and the only thing left between me and the Elite Four is Victory Road. Victory Road has a total of 12 fights, each of them having a full team of 6 with a Mega as the ace. I've been looking forward to this section because all the battles are tough and it feels like the perfect Victory Road for Run and Bun. The very first fight of Victory Road is against Wally, the same kid who taught us how to catch our first Pokemon back in Petalburg. His team is solid with his signature Mega Gardevoir as the ace. It's not the hardest battle, but I love that Wally's the one that welcomes you into Victory Road. From here, most of the trainers are just random challengers until the very end, when a familiar face shows up. Vito Windstreet returns as the final gatekeeper before the Elite Four. He leads with an Indeedee that sets up the Psychic terrain, while I match it with Dragapult. One Dragon Darts deletes it, bringing in the Ultra Beast Pheromosa. She gets completely walled by Azumarill, who cleanly one-shots it with Play Rough. Next is Cloyster. I swap into Walrein as it Shell Smashes, and even boosted, it still does no damage. One Freeze Dry drops it into the red, and then I pivot to Dragapult as Cloyster explodes, doing nothing thanks to my Ghost typing. Vito then sends out his Mega Alakazam. I sack Walrein here to get a free switch into Gyarados, and after Mega Evolving I become a Dark type, so Alakazam's Expanding Force does 0 damage. Waterfall drops it to 25%, and then the follow-up finishes the job. Next up is Hawlucha. I pivot into Latios, who just simply takes it out with the Psychic, and that only leaves Vito's former ace, Aggron. I pivot into Claydol, break the Sturdy with Rapid Spin, and then close out the fight with Earth Power. Before stepping into the Elite Four though, we need to finalize the team. Ideally, I'd love to grab a strong Fairy type. We've already missed Primarina multiple times, and this is our last chance to get her in Victory Road. And our first catch is Absol. It's good, but not what we need. But we still have one final shot, the Roamer encounters. With the Master Ball from Victory Road in hand, I can head out to the delayed routes. There's a 1 in 6 chance that we roll an Amorous, and we have 8 routes delayed, so that's about a 76% chance that we hit. It's time to roll the dice. Camera's on. Come on, come on, come on! Okay, 0 for 1. Okay, continue. Show me the pink bitch, please. Come on, come on, give me the encounter. Is this my repel off? Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on, an Amorous. No! Alright, 0 for 2. An Amorous. Say something into the mic for good luck.
Please. An Amorous plus Benjamin. An Amorous.
Okay, well, this is going in the video if we pull it right now. Oh yeah, I put you up right next to the mic. Come on, baby. Show me your beautiful body. Please, bro. I'm not getting the encounter right now. Hold on. She's hiding from me. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Come on, come on. No! Please, please be an Amorous, please. I'm begging for you to just show me her sweet. I don't know where I'm going with that one. Please, 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 an Amorous, an Amorous. Come on. Just do it. Here we go, here we go. No! Dude, oh, I've gotten all of her brothers. Please, I think this is my last one, if not second to last. I don't know, I need to go for the encounters, but just show me. Show me an Amorous. Okay, I think this is my last one. This is my last chance. I've done like, what, 7 or 8 now. I think this might be my 7th, maybe perchance, to get an Amorous. Come on, baby. If I get an Amorous, it's free. I've seen this stupid, like, 3 or 4 of them were this Lottie, bro. Fuck you. Well, no Amorous, which means we're going to be heading into the Elite Four with either a weak Fairy type or none at all. But we'll make do with what we have. Alright guys, if you've made it this far in the video, I truly appreciate you. From here, I'm just going to let the live commentary run so you can feel it at its full intensity and that live feeling of the ending. It gets wild, so watch all the way up to the champion fight. Alright everybody, welcome to the Elite Four of the Pokemon Run and Bun Nuzlocke. I've grinded my way up to this point, and I mean, yeah, I'm just excited to get into it, bro. This is probably the hardest planning I've ever had to do for like any game ever. Maybe the most brain power I've ever used in my life. As you can see, we're dressed up, and low-key, hold on, we gotta sub out the blue light glasses. I cannot see my screen at all. Holy moly. Blue light glasses are staying on. Alright, but let's just get right into it, bro. We're gonna start off by showing the team. Actually, first one is already in my party. The first Pokemon that we are bringing, everyone already knows it. It's Dragapult. Dragapult is one of the best mons in this entire game. Clear body with the lonely nature plus attack minus defense. These are the IVs on everything. And the moveset as well. Draco Meteor, Dragon Darts, Phantom Force, Shadow Ball. We don't click Shadow Ball this entire E4, but we just have it to have it. And yeah, so that's the first mon. The second one, I'm gonna start going into the box. Okay, the second mon on our team is another obvious one. It's Sneasler. Sneasler is, in my opinion, top 3 fighting type in the game, maybe top 2. Tough, Urshifu, Infernape, and Sneasler are the 3 best. Summary on this mon, it's Inner Focus, Jolly. It actually came with the Jolly nature, so I didn't even have to change it. It's got almost max HP, attack, defense, special attack, and then 11 speed. The 11 speed might look bad, but it's actually perfect for baiting in some of these fights. And he's rocking the moveset of Close Combat, Knockoff, Ice Punch, and Fake Out. The next mon that we are bringing, another obvious. These first 3 are like super obvious, and then the next 3 slowly fall off for less usage, is Golisopod. Golisopod is by far the best pivot in the entire game. He makes all these lines possible. Let's look at his emergency exit, Quiet. Honestly, the stats aren't even that stellar, but he's not meant to be a killer. He's just meant to be like a support. First impression, Sucker Punch, Ice Beam, and Surf. Okay, our 4th Pokemon, this is where they start getting fun, is a Dark type Absol. Level 100 Absol here. He has pressure, serious, neutral nature, 24 HP, 1 attack, 31 defense, 24 special attack, 25 special defense, and 24 speed IVs. Rocking with the moveset of Knockoff, Play Rough, Sucker Punch, and Witch. The only 2 moves I probably click, I'm not going to spoil it, but he doesn't click a lot of moves, I'm not going to lie. But Absol is a big piece of this. Really happy to bring him. Probably the best Dark type I had in my box. And here's where they start to get fun. So those 4 are decently common brings, and I really tried to bring them on that's never been used before. It's a run and bun tradition, but I was not able to. So I do have 2 fun picks. Starting with this first one is Komo-O. Rarely seen. I think maybe the only other time he's been used was in Squirt's Run. We have Overcoat and Hardy. Hardy is neutral nature. 0 HP, 25 attack, 21 defense, 8 special attack, 31 spadef, and speed. Rocking with the moveset, Close Combat, Dragon Claw, Hidden Power Grass, and Protect. The Hidden Power Grass is actually huge. It almost ruined my entire line not having Hidden Power. But yeah, you'll see that in the end. That's for the champ fight. So I'm really excited to bring Komo-O. He goes crazy in some of these fights, so it's exciting. Add him to the team right now. And the very last bring, I think this has also only been brought 1 time, maybe 2. But it's Magnezone. Magnezone is such a niche pick, and he's such a cool pick as well. Steel Electric typing, Timid Analytic. So he's a max speed Magnezone, also 31 special attack IV. He's got 27 HP, 18 attack, 11 defense, 31 special attack, 18 spadef, and 31 speed. This Magnezone is a really fun bring. His moveset right now only has 3 moves. We're going to add a move later. We don't want to bait any kills before the champ fight is pretty much what we want to do for that 4th move. You'll see. I'm not going to spoil any of these lines, but this is the squad that we're bringing. No fairy type. I think the only fairy types I got in this entire run, we can go to my box actually. I believe they were the only fairy types I got in this entire run is Mega Audino, Mawile, Togekiss, and there's one more, I think. I think I'm blind. I don't know. Those might be the... Oh, and Azumarill. That's the other one that I was thinking of. But they're all just... They're just so mid fairy types that I just couldn't bring any of them and find a decent, like, line. I like the big mons that I left out was Urshifu and Latios. I don't know why. I just... This team works better, in my opinion. But, yeah, I'm going to get all my pre-damages, all my pre-statuses set up, and then we'll get right into the first trainer. Okay, Sydney is first up. Welcome, challenger. I'm Sydney of the Elite Four. Let me explain the rules. Face 4 greatest trainers of the region. Test your battling skills. Okay, and this is the fun part about running Bun Elite Four. If you did not know already, as he's saying right now, you have to do 2 single battles and 2 double battles, but you are free to choose which ones you'd like. I guess you'll give me a good match. Looking real good. So tell me, what's it gonna be? We are doing Sydney doubles. Let's get right into it. First Elite Four member. Oops. He's going to lead with Incineroar and Galarian Articuno. I lead with Sneasler and Dragapult. Incineroar has Intimidate, but I am Inner Focus, which blocks Intimidate. And I'm also Clear Body, which also blocks any stat drops. So, for this turn 1, what the AI sees is it sees a kill with Articuno on my Sneasler and a slow kill with Knockoff on my Dragapult. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fake out Articuno so it can't move this turn. And I'm going to Phantom Force, go invisible, target the Articuno. Fake out comes out. Phantom Force comes out. I'm going to go invisible. Then Articuno is going to flinch. And Incineroar is going to knock off. Missed attack. Perfect turn 1. And then on turn 2, we can just take a double KO here. Black Belt boosted close combat into the Incineroar and Phantom Force into the Articuno. 1-hit KO there. And I outspeed with the Black Belt boosted KO Incineroar. So we pick up a double KO. And right now what the AI sees is looking into the Dragapult slot. It sees a slow kill with Overquill. So it's always going to send an Overkill. But it also sees a slow kill with Gyarados into the Sneasler slot. But I know what the AI doesn't know is he's about to Mega Evolve, turning into a Dark type, getting rid of the Flying type. Once again, Intimidate's blocked. And then Overquill is also going to come out. There we go. And as I was just saying, though, the triple Intimidate, by the way, this is mean. But getting back to what I was saying, I'm all over the place right now. The AI sees Gyarados' Water Flying type right now. He's going to Mega Evolve and change into a Water Dark type, which means fighting is super effective. I can take this kill completely safe. And Overquill is always going to click Crunch, so we're going to switch into our pre-damage Kamo-O, who resists Crunch because of a fighting type. So Kamo-O is going to come in. The Mega Evolve is going to go off first. Mega Gyarados is on the field, but he's now weak to close combat. So close combat is going to come out and just pick up the one shot on the Mega Gyarados. See ya, buddy. And then to finish off the turn is going to be a Crunch into Kamo-O. Defense drop, doesn't matter if it gets it. Okay, and this is always going to be Darkrai on the right side. So now I can once again safely go for close combat, pick up the kill, and both sides see fast kills going into the Kamo-O slot so we can protect. One of the few mons in this game that can get protect. It's going to protect the Aura Sphere, yep, and then close combat's going to come out for the 3rd time in a row. It's going to pick up the 1-hit KO. And then the only move that Overquill ever sees a kill with is Gunk Shot into the Kamo-O. And there's the Gunk Shot, blocked by Protect. And now Sydney's down to his last 2 Pokemon, and the last is Urshifu. This Urshifu has a Focus Sash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock off to break the Focus Sash. And the Urshifu is always clicking close combat into the slot. and Overquill's clicking Gunk Shot. So what I can do is I can go into Galissapod. Urshifu is faster, so my knockoff is gonna go first. That's just gonna knock off the Sash. And then Close Combat's gonna go off into the Galissapod. This is gonna bring me under half HP. Citrus gonna pop after. So here's the Citrus. And now my emergency exit ability is going to activate. And since it's Gunk Shot, we can go straight into our Magnezone. Magnezone is immune to Gunk Shot because of my Steel typing. There we go. And now I can Close Combat, take the fast kill here on Urshifu. And I'm pre-damaged to always be seen dead to Crunch by Overquill. So what I can do, switch right back into Komodo on the Crunch. Close Combat's going to come first. It's going to take the clean one shot. And now Cindy's down to his last Mon Overquill. But I'm not quite done yet. No defense drop? Beautiful. So... okay, so this is guaranteed to be Gunk Shot. And I could just take this kill, right? But I need to get some more damage off. I think I need to be below 79. Is it? Yes. I need to be below 80, actually. I need to be below 80 HP on my Sneasler, which I'm at 221 right now, obviously. So we're going to do some pivoting here. This is guaranteed Gunk Shot. So we're going to go into here. And we're going to go into here. I just spilled water on myself. But yeah, anyway, what this pivot does is this guarantees a Crunch into the right slot. And Crunch is the only move I ever want to see going into my Sneasler because it's safe, we know the roles, and it's resisted damage. So we're just going to keep this pivot chain up. Crunch comes out. What? How was that? Oh my god, that should be never possible. But I messed up my pre-damage. My pre-damage is fully messed up. Okay, hold on. I think this is my best way to do this. Oh, went for Fell Stinger. That's awkward. Should always be safe to do this. Should be guaranteed Crunch and Sneasel. Yep. All I need to do is take one more Crunch, man. Just one more Crunch. Is this guaranteed Fell Stinger? It is. Okay, that's perfect. Oh yeah, we got it now. It's gonna do meaningless damage. So now, I messed up my pre-damage, but we're all good now, because it hit me with the Fell Stinger. So now this is guaranteed Crunch. And we can switch right into here. And that should be over now. Beautiful. Below 79? Yep. Right in the money. And then now, messed up a little bit there with their pre-damaging. Just didn't look at my docs, but that's fine. That is Sydney down, and it was like, I think it was still riskless either way. I just had to do more pivoting than I thought. So that is Sydney down, though. And now we have Phoebe. This was a really tough one to plan, but I'm going to get all my pre-damages, all my items right, and I'll be back with you guys. Okay. We now have everyone pre-damaged, everyone's items. Here's just a quick look at the team if you want to see. Lots of pre-damages for this one. After this, we don't do too much. But, yeah, let's get right into Phoebe. Phoebe is a Ghost-type Elite Four member. I'm Phoebe of the Elite Four. I did my training on Mount Pyre. While I trained, I gained the ability to communicate with Ghost-type Pokemon. Yes, the bond I developed with Pokemon. I didn't read the rest of that. Speaking of that, your Pokemon took a beating from Sydney, eh? Please heal up before the battle. I'd like you to be at full strength. You know the rules by now. I'm ready when you are. Phoebe, we are going to do doubles. We're going to get our 2 doubles out of the way right away. Let's get right into it. This one has probably the coolest, or one of the 2 coolest starts I have in this entire E4. Probably the coolest. So she leads with Decadewey and Chandelure. I lead with Absol and Sneasler once again. So I'm going to start off very simple. I'm Choice Band Absol. Sucker Punch always goes first. One-shot the Chandelure. I forgot to use my Lepa Berries. I don't think it matters for this fight, but I'll have to remember to do it after this fight. But like I said, Sucker Punch KO the Chandelure, and then I'm going to Fake Out the Decidueye. Fake Out goes first. That's going to break the Decidueye Sash. Sucker Punch, always going to pick up the KO. And the reason I'm pre-damaged like this on Sneasler, we'll get into Absol in the next turn, but since Sneasler is so low, the only Mon in the entire team that sees a fast kill is Gengar. And Gengar is so frail that once again, I can just click Sucker Punch to take the KO. And then I can close combat Decadewey. So the Gengar's Mega Ring is going to pop. I'm going to turn into Mega Gengar. But we don't care about Mega Gengar because we have Sucker Punch. So Sucker Punch is going to come out. 1-hit KO. And then I'm Fighting Gem boosted close combat here. And this always picks up the KO on Decidueye. So in the first 2 turns, I picked up 3 KOs. That's 3 down right there. And so now, on the left side, I actually don't know what side they're going to come on. But it's going to be Blastoise and Lunala. So Blastoise on the right side, and Lunala on the left. That's what I thought. I didn't want to mess it up, though. But pretty much now with the ASCs, I'm also so low on Absol because of this. Blastoise always sees a kill with Fake Out on Absol, so it's guaranteed to click Fake Out in that left slot. And Lunala also sees a kill on Absol with Meteor Beam. So when the AI sees a kill with Meteor Beam and it has the Power Herb, it's guaranteed to click it. So I know exactly what the AI is going to do here. So I can switch out into Golisopod. And I'm actually going to stay in with Sneasler, and I'm going to knock off. It's going to knock off the Power Herb and also break the Shadow Shield. So first is going to be the Fake Out. Yep. And then I'm going to knock off, which means Lunala's going to be stuck powering up or charging up this turn, however you want to phrase it. And the Meteor Beam will not go off. Special attack boost. Perfect. Poison goes off. Perfect. So now, Blastoise always sees a kill only on Sneasler with Muddy Water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Sucker Punch, take this KO, and I'm going to switch to Kuma-Oh. Yep. Switch to Kuma-Oh. Sucker Punch goes out. This always kills. Lunala down. And Muddy Water is going to come out. And it hits both. Perfect. So this is going to bring me below half. My citrus is going to go off. And once again, here's Galissapod going crazy with the support. Going to go above half. And then my emergency exit ability is going to proc. And now I can bring out Dragapult. Because Phoebe's last mon in the back is none other than Giratina. So, Giratina, the way the AI usually works, Giratina has Shadow Sneak, so it should be guaranteed to Shadow Sneak because it sees that I have rolls of killing it. But since it sees fast kills on my left slot being Kuma-O, it's going to go for the Kuma-O kill. So what we can do is Draco Meteor here. I'm Dragon Gem boosted, 50-50 range to kill, and I'm going to protect. We don't really care if this kills this turn or not. I think we'd rather it kill, but I think it's fine if it doesn't. 50-50 chance to kill. And we just pick up the kill. Nice. And then Blastoise is going to Focus Blast into Kuma-O. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then from here, I can just Dragon Darts and switch in anybody on my team who can tank a Focus Blast, which would be Galissapod. Dragon Dart's going to come out. I think it does just under half. Yeah. Should be on like around 50 to 55%. Perfect. Focus Blast is going to come out. It hits, which is also best case scenario. Should bring me below half. Yep. Emergency exit procs once again. So now I can just bring you right back out. And then a couple of Dragon Darts should finish it off. It is Iapapa Berry, but that doesn't matter. Just protects. Dragon Darts won't kill this turn because of the Iapapa. Unless I crit. Unlucky. Focus Blast comes out once again. We're just doing the same song and dance. Dragon Darts once more. Switch into Galiss. This is a range, but it doesn't matter if we hit or not. Yeah. Never dead here. To crit plus poison. Yep. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. Let Galiss pick up a KO. Let him pick up a KO. There you go. And that is Phoebe down. These first 3 fights are pretty easy for my team. The hardest one is Drake, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Let's focus on what's ahead right now. Yup, I'd like to see how far your bond will carry you. Go ahead and move on to the next room. Thanks, Phoebe. And it's time for Glacia now. Let me prepare my team. Alright, the team is prepped. Another look at it. This one, only pre-damage is Galissapod. And a little spoiler alert here. Kuma-O is going to go crazy in this fight. Okay, here we go, though. My name is Glacia of the Elite Four. I've traveled afar to Hoenn so that I may hone my ice skills, but I have seen challenges by weak trainers and their Pokemon. I hope you can show me you're not like the rest. Let's have a good battle. I couldn't agree more, Glacia. Singles. We have 2 singles left. So, once again, we're going to lead our boy, Absol. She leads Mamoswine. I lead Absol. This is my only Mega Evolution of the entire run. So, let's take a quick pause. What does the AI see right now? Right now, the AI sees no kills. The Mamoswine has a Focus Sash, so it can never die. And it has Stealth Rocks. So it's guaranteed to click Stealth Rocks. But I'm going to Mega Evolve here and knock off. What this is going to do, I'm going to knock off the Focus Sash. And I'm also going to bounce back these Stealth Rocks because my ability while Mega Evolved is Magic Bounce. Knockoff comes out, going to do about half. And Stealth Rocks is going to come out. And this is huge. This is going to set up so many kills. Because this is an Ice-type trainer. So I'm doing 25% to every single mon that switches into the battle now. And so now it's guaranteed to click Earthquake. So we can just go into Kuma-Oh. I'm never dead to crit. And this is the only damage Kuma-Oh will be taking this whole fight. Perfect. And I'm choice scarfed, so I outspeed now. Close combat will pick up the KO. And now the AI sees that looking at its party, nothing outspeeds and KOs because I'm choice scarfed. So the first thing that can switch in without dying and kill me is Arctivish. But the AI doesn't see the stealth rocks. So Arctivish is going to take 75%, and then I can just chain kill and take this kill with close combat. And that'd be really cool if I could do it again, but I can't do it again right now. Because incoming is Enamorous. Enamorous is going to take 75% because it is a flying type. But I can't kill this. Quad resisted. This is guaranteed Moonblast. So we're just going to direct switch into Magneton. Or Magnezone, excuse me. Moonblast comes out. If it gets the special attack drop, I am White Herb. Which it doesn't matter. Leftover is going to proc. This is a guaranteed kill. I'm faster because of my nature and my speed IVs. So I can just take this kill with Thunderbolt every day of the week that ends with Y. Enamorous down. Now it's going to be Kyurem. Kyurem, not Kyurem. Kyurem. That's a weird name. I don't know. This is guaranteed, what's it called? Fusion Flare or Earth Power. Best case scenario, we're going to switch directly into Pult. This is Choice Band Pult. Best case scenario is Fusion Flare, because if it Earth Power crits, it could set up some sketchy scenarios. We don't even have to worry about it. Beautiful. This can never burn. I thought this move burned, but I was wrong. That move doesn't burn. So, take the kill with Dragon Darts. And now it's going to be Abomasnow. Abomasnow is always going to go for Blizzard. Now, this Abomasnow is going to go for Blizzard, so you may be like, Crixie, Blizzard can miss. This is not a safe line. It's going to Mega Evolve. Just give it a second. It's going to Mega Evolve into a Mega Abomasnow. And the funny thing about Mega Abomasnow is its ability is Snow Warning. So this is going to set up the Hail, which means Blizzard can never miss. Which means Blizzard will exactly bring me just below half every time. No crit, no crit. Love it. Perfect. Citrus is going to bring us right above half now. Just barely above it. Emergency exit's going to pop. And guess who we're bringing back out? The boy Kuma-Oh. Now Kuma-Oh with the Choice Scarf. I'm also Overcoat, so I don't ever take any chip from Hail. Close combat, take the fast KO for his third KO of the fight. In my original line, I had 4 KOs, but it wasn't safe at the end, so I had to change it. I couldn't give him that much glory. But he's still going crazy. And the very last mon, so hard to figure out how to kill, is Calyrex Ice Rider. But since I get the chip from the Stealth Rocks, I now can always one-hit KO with a special dragon of my own in the back. So we're going to switch out. This is random move. We're never dead to crit from either one. The best, I think, yeah, it doesn't matter. High horsepower would be preferable, but love it. This should always bring us below half. Yep, beautiful. This once again grants us a free switch into Droop, the boy that we pulled near Mount Pyre. Absolute goat of this run, honestly. I don't know if I'd say that, but he's a dog. We can always take the kill with Phantom Force. So we're going to Vanish. Glacial Lance misses. Phantom Force. Oh, sorry. The Hail has to continue to fall first. And then Phantom Force comes out. I didn't even know that I took hail damage while I was invisible. I don't know. I'm kind of just yapping by saying that. But that's Glacia. Those are the 3 easy ones, though. I'd say out of the 5 battles that I'm doing, Drake and the champion. I say Drake is the hardest for my team, and the champion is the second hardest. So, I'm going to walk up to Drake, get our team ready, and fucking pray. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here at Drake. Our team is prepared and ready. Pre-damages. Only Golisopod just a little bit. There's not much to say. A lot can go wrong here. A lot can go right here. You know, you kind of just gotta go off the vibes. Let's win this goddamn shit, okay? Alright. Drake. I'm the last of the Pokemon League Elite Four. Drake the Dragon Master. In their natural state, Pokemon are wild living things. They are free. At times they hinder us. At times they help us. For us to battle with Pokemon as partners, do you know what it takes? Do you know what is needed? If you don't, then you will never prevail. Big words for a small guy. We only got one choice left. Are you going to fight or are you going to run? I mean, bitch, what are we here for? It's getting hot in this suit, man. Look good, play good. Drake leads with Dragapult. You could have guessed who I'm leading with. Dan the frickin' man. Absol has led every battle except for one. And he's just going to sucker. Choice band boosted Sucker Punch. Always picks up the KO. God damn, I need some water. I'm losing my voice out here. Always baits Reshiram. Reshiram is also always clicking Blue Flare. So we're going to switch into Kuma-O. Kuma-O, we don't care about his HP or his status. Just get a crit, get a burn, do everything if you'd like. Get it out of your system right now, Drake. Okay, that's fine. We're held eject button though, so what that does is on any damage, it gives me a free switch. So we're going to take that free switch and go out into Dragapult. Dragapult is holding the Life Orb. Life Orb boosted Dragon Darts will always kill. It's 2 down. The first 3 are light work. The middle 2 are the scary ones. Okay. The Reshiram down. This is going to be Crawdaunt now. Whew. Crawdaunt is always clicking Lash Out. Dark type move. Free switch into Sneasler. I low-key think... Nah. Crit's fine here as well. So I'm asking you to critical hit Sneasler. Alright, fine. Crawdaunt's holding a Focus Sash, so we're going to break it by clicking Fake Out. Close Combat. Always picks up the KO. And my held item, though, I have not told you this yet, is the Eject Pack. So pretty much what that does is if I ever get a stat lowered, the Eject Pack switches me out. So I'm going to take the kill and get a free switch in the same exact turn. And what this is going to do is, it's not going to set up a kill necessarily, but it's going to set up a bait. We're going to switch in Magnezone, and this is going to bring out the first of the 2 scary Pokemon, Zygarde. Zygarde is always going to click 1,000 arrows here. So we're going to go into Golisopod, who resists 1,000 arrows and can eat this bitch. So 1,000 arrows is going to do like minimal damage, like 15% about. And then Poison's going to go off, bring me to like what, 166? Oh, on the dot. And here we go. Here is where it gets sketchy. I taught Icy Wind over Sucker Punch. This incentivizes Zygarde to click Dragon Claw this turn. If it clicks Dragon Claw, we're looking beautifully. So just click Dragon Claw. You piece of shit, click Dragon Claw. Click Dragon Claw. Click it. Bang! Bang! brings us below half. Citrus procs bring us above half. Boom. And then the emergency exit goes off. Perfect turn right there. So now what we can do is we can go out into Sneasler. Sneasler can fake out. This never brings it below half because its ability is Power Construct. And what that does is it turns it to a big scary guy. It's like a goddamn Power Ranger. I'll show it on the screen if you've never seen it before. But we don't have to deal with that. Let me just... Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me check this goddamn... Okay, I just checked the range. This is a guaranteed KO with Ice Punch. I already knew it. But I'm playing safe right now. Boom. This is always going to bring in Suicune. The two mons in the back are Suicune and Salamence. I see a fast kill on Salamence right now, so it can never bring in Salamence, so it's always Suicune. Okay, fellas. I was checking the docs. I think it's about 50-50 here to Scald or Calm Mind. If this clicks Scald, we win. If it clicks Calm Mind, we're sweating a little bit more than we are right now. Show me Scald. Show it to me, please. Bang! From downtown, bro. From downtown. I think the burn is actually like good there. Whew. Let's go. I'm sorry that... Okay. That's fine. This is guaranteed Ice Beam now. Free switch, essentially, into our Magna Zone. Bang. Let's go, fellas. Let's go. Alright, free switch. I'm Lumberry if it freezes or burns or any shenanigans. Electro Web. It can Calm Mind now. That's fine. We're going to Electro Web it here. This Electro Web is going to minus its speed, which then allows me to outspeed on this next turn. Beautiful. This has a chance to sub as well. I think we're dead to some rolls of crit. I can either crit here and kill. I can para. So much I can do. Okay. He clicks Scald. But we're the GOAT. We're never dead to burn damage. Oh, I'm Lumberry. What am I saying? I was literally just talking about that. Okay. Okay, I think it's over. I think Drake is done. Whew. Thunderbolt takes the KO. I'm going to check some ranges on the Salamence. Okay, it's over. Max roll right now on return that Salamence sees is 54, which means this is guaranteed to click Earthquake every time. We can go out into Golisopod. It's gonna Mega Evolve. Yep. And this is guaranteed to bring us just below half. And you know what that means. The critical hit as well. That's when he decided to use it. I love it, Drake. I love it. Oh, we did it. We did it. We did it, Drake. We got past Drake. The emergency exit gives us a free switch into Dragapult. Who can just Draco Meteor this son of a bitch. Bye, Drake. It was fun playing. It was fun playing, Drake. It really was. And now, you all know who's last. I have. I'll save this speech till I get my team ready. I'm gonna prep my team, teach all the moves I need to teach. Drake spitting some good words. I can't walk up because the battle starts right when you like walk in, essentially. But I'm gonna get my team ready. I'll be right back, boys. Fellas, the team is ready. I'm high-key stressing right now because I just realized that sucker punch that I deleted to not bait coil. I guess I could check if I have a TM or something, but I'm like 99% sure that I have no priority move TMs. Yep, no. Alright. I deleted Sucker Punch, and it might come up. It might not. I had to switch around some items now. This is our team order. I have fought 330 fights. There are 331 total fights in this game. If I lose on the last one, I actually might lose my shit, bro. I got my HP bar ready, as you could see right there. We're in the champions room. Here we go. Welcome, Crexy. That incident at Sutopolis City, that was superb work. Putting an end to that crisis all by yourself. It wouldn't be fair to say that you did it alone. That you alone ended that crisis. I mean, it could be. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. You've overcome that difficult situation by working with one with your Pokemon. We trainers raise Pokemon by giving them items and by teaching them new techniques for battle. But we ourselves also learn things from Pokemon. And this is where your achievements are put to the test against what others like you have achieved. Now, who can most elegantly dance with their Pokemon in Hoenn? Show me right here, right now. Well said. Let's get it, bro. Let's get it. Champion Wallace. This is going to be a bloodbath. He leads with Primal Kyogre. I'm leading with Dan the Man. Who the fuck else would I lead? Kyogre is out on the field. Primordial Sea is out. Dan the Man is holding a Dark Gem. Dark Gem boosted Sucker Punch will do about half. And then we're just letting him die. You done well, kid. You done real well. 07s, baby. We can now bring out Sneeze. Sneasler is holding a Focus Sash. We're going to fake out once just to get some chip. And we can now take the kill with close combat. This always brings out Barraskewda. My brain was blanking right there. Always brings out Barraskewda. Barraskewda can do one of two things because he only has two moves. It can click Liquidation or it can click Flip Turn. I really don't know what I'd rather see. Okay, Flip Turn. Flip Turns, it's going to go into Palkia, which means we can just take the kill on Palkia. So this is going to bring Palkia to like, I don't know, 30 or 40%, I think, in that vicinity. I'm lagging all over the place. Never mind, it's only half. But I do know that this is a guaranteed 2-ko. So, one more close combat is going to pick up the kill. And now we're going to be in that same exact situation that we were just in. Barraskewda, once again, going to come out. It can Flip Turn or it can Liquidation. Once again, this fight, for me, is honestly like a vibes-based fight. There's no PP left. I'm sorry. Let me just click Knockoff then. Flip Turn, okay. I think it Flip Turns into Goodra. Always Goodra. Manaphy? Why would it Flip Turn into Manaphy? Okay, we're going to go out into here, I think. We're dead to crit. Or freeze. What move do I want to click? Dragon Darts. Come on, baby, hold. Hold, Pult. Hold. Come on, come on. Come on, hold. Hold. Okay. It's a bad crit. That's why we got the ruler. Still below half. You can take the kill with Guso. I don't know who this brings out. I'm hoping it's anyone but Barraskewda. But I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed Scuda. Unless it's Swampert, but I don't think it's Pert. Yep, it's skewed, so that's really bad. I need this to proc my Citrus Berry. That's awful. It's looking bleak, boys. We have to hit this range. 1 in 10 to miss it. 90% chance, come on. 90% chance. Nice. Please be Goodra. It's definitely gonna be Pert. Wait, no, please be Swampert. Please be Swampert. Swampert, show me Swampert. Yes! Wait, I think that's really good. Because this is guaranteed Stone Edge. Guaranteed Stone Edge. Please, don't miss. If he misses, I lose. If he misses, I lose. Come on. Please hit. Please hit. Yes! I think we win! Citrus! Oh, this is gonna be close. Be above 158, please. Oh my god, this is so close. Oh my god. Okay. Hold on, I need to look at these calcs real quick. 1 in 8 chance I die here. About. A little more, actually. I'd say... I don't even know what 1 in 8 is. I think 1 in 8 is 12. I'd say there's about a 15% chance I die this turn. If I die, it's GG's. Come on. Yes! No freeze! It's not over yet. We sack. I haven't been saluting everyone. It's on about 55%, I think. Our only win conditions here are I have to hit a range or he misses. He misses Stone Edge. Please, Guso. Just hit the range. Do it for the one time. Hit the range for all the boys who have fallen. Hit the range. No! Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, I fell out of my chair. Holy shit, I think we win. I'm choice banded, so I can't click it again. But I can pivot. Stone Edge is gonna come out. This isn't gonna do any damage. Holy fuck, I'm like shaking right now. This is guaranteed Earthquake. This is gonna... I think it's actually just gonna switch me right back, but that's fine. We can switch back into Guso on the Earthquake. How much does Earthquake do? It's over. I think it's over. I think it's over. I don't know if this win will count. I think surely it counts. Oh, no. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. No, I'm tweaking. Once again, guaranteed earthquake. Max crit roll is 76 damage. I'm 101. Oh my god. It's over. This never kills. No way I beat Pokemon Run and Bun. On a missed Stone Edge because I messed up. First impression always goes first and it always kills. Wallace has one Pokemon left. And that's Goodra. Goodra can only click Aqua Tail or Heavy Slam here. And guess what? Both of those never kill Magnezone. Oh my god. Aqua Tail comes out. We don't care about crit. 131 HP. I always outspeed here. There's one thing I haven't told you guys about this fight yet. This entire time, I've had a bomb. Fairy Gem boosted. Misty Explosion. For Pokemon Run and Bun Champion. See ya, Goodra. It's over. It's all over. Oh my god, we did it. Oh my god, we did it. We beat Pokemon Run and Bun. My heart is beating so fast right now. Dude, let's go! Oh. I can't even get up my goddamn chair. I'm actually gonna fall down again. Oh my goodness. That was wonderful work. Kudos to you, Craigsy. You are truly a notable Pokemon trainer. Oh my goodness. We won. We won off a Stone Edge miss. We were 80% to lose. The Pokemon you sent into battle, at times they danced like spring breeze. At times they struck like lightning. It was light, yet sure-footed elegance that you led your Pokemon. Even I felt bedazzled by your masterful performance. And now you stand the glorious peak of the Pokemon League. I now proclaim you to be the new Hoenn region. Bitch, what are you doing? No, just champ me already, bitch.
Crixie! Here's some advice before you challenge the champion.
Bitch, I already beat her. Get the fuck out of here. May, get out of here. What? Crixie, could it? That it's already over? Birch, what are you doing here?
See? What did I tell you, May? Didn't I tell you that you don't need to worry about Crixie? Crixie, you finally done it. What, I've heard that you defeated your own father in the Petalburg gym. I thought perchance that chance. But to think you've actually become the champion. Ah, yes. What became of your Pokédex? Seen 150 Pokemon and you've caught 35. Well, it could be more could use more quantity.
Alright, fuck this voice, bro. Can you just get the fuck out of here? You've seen 612 Pokemon, you call it. Anyways, congratulations. Now you proudly. Thank you. Leave me the fuck alone. Crixie. No, let me rephrase that properly. The new champion. Come with me. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, May. Sorry, but from here on, only trainers who have become the champion may enter. You'll have to wait outside with Professor Birch. I'm just joking. That's okay. Oh. Honestly, congratulations. Don't let May come in. I don't want her to be in there. Thank you. This room. This is where we keep records of Pokemon that prevailed through harsh battles. It is here that the Pokemon League champions are honored. Come on. Let's record your name as a trainer who has triumphed over the Pokemon League. And the names of the partners who battled with you. Let's go, bro. This feels so good, baby. I don't even know how long I spent on this game. I'll have to check the date when I started. Let's go. Absolute Dan the man. Absolute GOAT, man. Sneasler. Kamatachi. Dragapult was great. Droop. Magnezone was a really fun bring. Golisopod, the best pivot in the goddamn game. Guso, the GOAT, dodging the Stone Edge. And last but not least, Kamo-O. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Hold on, I need to get a picture of this. I missed it a little bit, but... let's fucking go. League champion. 421 hours. Let's go, bro. Oh my god, I've said let's go like 20 times, but... actually, this... it feels so freaking good. This is probably the hardest, like... I've had to use my brain, bro. Like, every single fight, handcrafted. Oh, and they're showing everyone in my box. This is so fun. Lillipop, Pancham. That Weasel was insane. Jangmo-O. Skeweds. The starter Torterra. Wow, bro. Wow. I don't even have any words. If you're watching the video right now, you're a real one, honestly. It was a crazy run. Hella ups and downs. Everything was planned. Obviously, except for that champion battle. I spent a week planning that, and I somehow messed... I made a last second change. I did the same thing that Moxie did. Moxie also did something stupid like that, but... it's crazy, bro. 80% chance to lose the run. But we won. Yeah, if y'all are here, bro, please like, please sub, share this with your boys. Even if they don't watch Pokemon, this shit's crazy, man. Can't wait to make the full video, release it for everybody, make some shorts. Whew. That was a hell of a time. Hell of a time, man. I'm officially done with Pokemon Run and Bun. Who knows if I'll ever touch a Pokemon game again, man. I really wanted to bring that Chestnut to the E4. Alright, y'all, but... thank you for watching. However many people see this. I'll get the video out soon, the entire run. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. This shit was electric, so... peace out, y'all.